In today's video I have this graphic equaliser with a little bit of a spectrum display on it, spectrum analyzer. That's the only reason I actually bought it in the end. I was looking at this wondering what it actually was. It's weird it didn't have a brand name, but someone's actually put black pen over the realistic brand name. Maybe they're embarrassed to own a Tandy one. Shouldn't be, they're normally not too bad at quality, but yeah, it's a realistic Catalog 31-2020A stereo frequency equaliser, custom manufactured in Taiwan for Intertown Australia. Stereo expander manufactured unlicensed by Acoustics Incorporated. So it's got some sort of expander, has it? AC outlet unswitched 240 volt. Looks like they've covered it up. So it'd be 110 volt type connection there, I guess. So I won't even bother opening that up at the moment. Oh yeah, it's got an IMX expander. Equalize, record, monitor 1, 2 and dubbing, so you can actually equalize between tapes and bypass the whole thing. That's the sort of place where one of these might have actually been useful. It looks like it's got a bit of spray paint or something splattered on it, which is a bit of a pain. Hopefully that'll, and some sort of goo on there. I might just clean that off quickly. See if that display comes up a little bit better. Usually a bit of metho will remove both glue and paint, but you just got to be careful you don't take the paint on that off that's meant to be on there, like all those little numbers they've put on there. Is that coming off? I think it's slowly, looks like some silver paint splattered on it, so that's going to be a bit of a pain to get off, but this didn't cost much, so I can't really complain. It's coming off, I think, without damaging the white so far. Maybe not that well. Some of it's coming off, but some of it's staying behind, I think. So that might need something a bit harsher on there, or a light polish or something. And can we get rid of the, oh yeah, we can get our realistic badge back. So I guess someone just didn't want anyone to see what it was. First time I think I've seen a brand name covered up. Certainly a bit weird. Yeah, we may have to polish some of that off the display at least. Guess I won't have to have a look inside. It's probably just a bunch of chips or a bunch of passive little filter things, caps and resistors. Generally there's not much exciting in them, but this age I would expect it to actually have some chips in there to do it. But they're one of the less useful bits of hi-fi gear unless you've got specific need for it. Suppose you could match your stereo to your room acoustics with one of these if there's a few dead spots or whatever, but generally, other than doing the same as a bass and treble control, they don't seem to do an awful lot for most purposes. But yeah, for recording, or like in a studio or dubbing tape to tape with a bad tape or something, certainly could be handy. So they're just 4066 switch chips there, a couple of one 4017, might be an LED driver. I wonder if they've matrixed those LEDs in some way. That's probably what that is about. You've probably got a 4017 driving the lines, and then these other chips switching which row of LEDs is on at the time or something. So some sort of multiplexing type setup it would be my guess. Oh, that has got rid of some of that paint off there. That's good. It just is slow to come off. I can probably find this in one of their catalogues and get a date for it, because I don't think it's got anything on it. But made in Taiwan dates it a bit, probably to late 80s, early 90s I would guess. Actually it's realistic on the circuit board, so maybe they actually designed it or had someone design it, or maybe they just put that because they were making them for these guys. But often you didn't see this sort of stuff anywhere else, their audio gear. Certainly their TVs and videos and stuff were just overpriced, rebadged Samsung Funais or whatever. But yeah, their hi-fi gear you often didn't see elsewhere. It was kind of unique, even if it was made by someone else. But yeah, not too badly built looking unit. A little bit of heat's been around the regulators there, so they may well be dry jointed. Oh, we've got a Samsung regulator by the look of it. That's just a transistor. Doesn't feel the best on the board there. Is it a transistor or a... Oh, it is a transistor, but that's got the, I think, the Samsung symbol on it. The little 3 little boxes with plus symbols in it or whatever it is. And masonite back, a masonite bottom with silver coating, and a bunch of slide pots and LEDs. So not overly interesting. Let's see if it does actually at least work. I don't see any display, but maybe that's because there's no signal in it. So we might have to, I guess I can hook it between CD and amp here. So yeah, it seems to be doing something. Just everything flat at the moment. Let's have a listen to that expander, I guess. That does something. If you turn it up, it distorts. I would have thought that would do the amount of actual separation or something, but instead it just distorts. Oh yeah, we can adjust the display level to get more or less showing on it. But that was the only thing that caught my eye. Normally I wouldn't care about a graphic equaliser, but when you see a nice little LED display on it, you think, well, maybe that's a cool thing. For a few dollars, it's almost worth just pinching that bit out of it, but I don't think it would be that easy since everything's on that main board. What happens if we crank up some... Doesn't seem to affect it that much, but maybe there's nothing in the actual music to do so. They are going up and down, I think. If we turn those centers down a bit, that's balanced it out a bit more. But it's not like it's, oh, I guess we've got 2 channels. I don't know what channel it comes off, if either or both. So it has kind of killed the center when I do that. Push it back up there, we get center back. Yeah, it must be like a mono or combined signal of both channels. I guess we should see if it does actually work. Yeah, well, that definitely does something. I'd say the sliders are all working. A little bit of scratchiness here and there, but yeah, that IMX expander thing seems to distort at this level, which is normal line level out of a CD. When I press that record thing, it stops that expander distorting. If I have that off, the expander distorts. So I'm not sure what the story is of that thing, but it doesn't like line level, at least out of this CD player. So I don't think our IMX expander thing is particularly good. I wonder if that's related to these op amps here. I don't think there's any more chips in there, so I say the chips, it's just passive RC network sort of thing. Yeah, that's where the LEDs come from by the look of it. All these transistors and those chips, I would guess they're multiplexing that display. Oh, there's another chip down there I like. Good old LM324, 2 of them actually. So they're just op amps, probably maybe used for preamp work or something. Well, they could even be related to the LED displays for all I know. Maybe they're the inputs. Yeah, I don't think there's any chips hidden under that end board, but there could be. So yeah, basically a good LED display and not a lot else, I don't think. You think that if the level was too much going into this unit from the CD player, this would max out when you turned it up to maximum, but it doesn't. Well, that's seems to respond to frequencies quite well. I guess we could shove 1 kilohertz or something into it and see. Yeah, it's got a 1K band now. I doubt it's that precise, but you never know. So we're up around the 1 kilohertz mark, and we've got a peak right there. And yeah, it's peaking on the 1 kilohertz there. But until you turn the volume right up, I guess. But, you know, to be fair, it is filtering it fairly well. Ooh, what's going on here? Maybe got a bit of a scratchy pot or something. Well, it's not going to be scratchy because we don't hear it, but that pot certainly is acting a little weird. Or is it just this thing slow to respond? I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, no, I think that's dropping in and out maybe. I might put a bit of contact cleaner in that thing. It's possible it's iffy. Yeah, it seems to behave a bit better now. But if you turn it down the right amount, it just peaks at 1 kilohertz. So I guess what we could do is go up even higher. Where are we? Oh, that's the 1 kilohertz. Whoops. Now we can go up to 100 kilohertz, which is probably going to be a bit high. But as I'm turning this down, we can see it. I think that's 1.6 kilohertz we're on. So we should be getting more up to 2 kilohertz. Yeah, that's starting to rise. Yeah, into 3 kilohertz. 4. That's 8.84. It's 11 kilohertz. And as we get to 16, 18 area, it starts. That's actually peaking, God, around 27. So I'm not sure how accurate that really is. Not the best. It's getting out of the hearing range. And if we go down, yeah, we're back in the bass. I think that's 50 hertz. Are we on? And now about 100. That's getting towards 200. I don't know how accurate this actual frequency counter is on my homemade generator, but that's around 500. So something's a bit out. I think it's pretty right because I normally set it to 1 kilohertz, and it is at 1 kilohertz. So I'd say this is a little bit out at the top and bottom, but right in the middle it seems pretty good. So that's that thing. I think I'll just clean that up. What did it do when I turned it off? All the little LEDs did something weird. No. So I think I'll just end up using this as a LED display maybe. About all they really did was sit around and look kind of cool in your hi-fi system. Look a bit technical, but that's about all they're really good for. For the average setup, they didn't really improve the sound at all, unless you like the particular boost the bass or treble or something in a certain way. But yeah, I may have to take this front off, I think. Do these they should just slide off. There you go. May even have to clean that properly, or maybe I won't worry about it. Maybe I'll just use it in the dark. I'll give it a bit more of a wipe with methane and see if I can get any of that off. But, for a few dollars, it would go nicely with some 90s equipment, or late 80s black stuff. And yeah, I think that display might look quite good. I've been wanting to get a Spectrum display for a while, and it doesn't have to be particularly accurate. It's just something to add a little bit of visual effect to the music. So I'll hook it up and give it a run. Thanks for watching.